Today I'm in New York City. I'm going to stay in 2 hotels. One costs less than a night out, the other costs more than a month's rent. Same city, completely different worlds. Let's see if the price is really worth it. And we're going to start with the cheap hotel, which is actually around about 20 minutes from Times Square. It's called a pod hotel. These are actually quite popular in New York. Some are slightly better than others. And I've picked this one not only just because it's cheap, but also because it has a pretty impressive bar right on the roof. Let's go check in. Look at the size of those pumpkins. They are real as well. Now this is a first. You actually see other lifts going up and going down. You see the lift shafts and everything. I don't know whether I like that or I don't like that actually. If you stay long enough, you'll see another lift coming up. And as always, my room is right at the end, down here. Now they actually upgraded me, which I thought was nice. They said, I've upgraded you from a king room to a queen, which I was a little bit confused about because I thought queen bed is smaller than a king bed, but maybe it's the view, I don't know. Let's go in. I love the industrial door. I guess some people would say it's a bit like a prison cell. Being a pod hotel, the rooms are going to be very small, but what else do you need? The only issue is the rooms are very close together, so you do hear people, and I don't know whether you can hear that. That's somebody's shower going. And I noticed that first when I walked in, so as long as I don't have a shower in the middle of the night or really early in the morning, I'll be all right. Let me show you around the rest of the room. So the most important thing, the bed with a couple of huge lights either side. It's nice, it's bright, and most importantly, it's clean. We've got a TV, there's a phone here to call reception if I want, but also just check out the view that we have. It's not the best view, but I mean, it is New York, and wait till you see the view from upstairs, it's even better. On the 7th floor, so we've got a little bit of height. Can't say I'm a big fan of this. And before you ask, mattress encasement is on the bed, I've already checked. There is a safe here. I do like these blinds though. Nice. My wardrobe, there's no posh hangers here. Do like that clock. So come into the bathroom, which does have a pretty sizable shower. Pretty simple, with a toilet, a sink. Let me show you the shower actually, and I know people moan that I've got my shoes on, but don't worry, it is going to be me using the shower, so it's okay. And obviously I'll rinse it round. Possibly the smallest shower head I think I've ever seen in any shower. So I don't know if that's going to get me wet at all. I'm sure it will do actually. At least it's clean. There's complimentary shower gel and shampoo, and I reckon you could probably go for about 3 people in this shower. Old school soap. There's even a hook there to put your towel on, which is quite handy. Some cups, flannels, and there's even a hairdryer as well. I will come to the price at the end. And of course what we're going to do in both hotels is check out the food and what facilities they do have. They do have a bar upstairs. They also have a bar which you briefly saw downstairs called Auntie's, I think it is. We'll go and check that out. But first, let's head upstairs to the outside bar. Can't say I'm a big fan of the doors though. And the grey colours are a little bit depressing. It's nice that it tells you each of the lifts which floor they're on and how long you've got to wait. Ah, it's just missed us. It's a shame the sun's gone in because I came up here earlier and it was pretty special. Look at that. What a view, eh? Look at that. I think you just see the building there that King Kong went up. Bit windy up here though, at the minute. can imagine on a summer's evening this is really nice. Actually, it's not too cold at the minute. You can see other rooftop bars just going on across the city. That's so cool. I'll come up here later as well to see what it looks like at night. Wow, check out the bar. Love the pool room. I really didn't expect all of this. I just thought this was a pretty basic hotel.
Alright, so that picture downstairs.
I think this is the restaurant through here, isn't it? Let's go get some food in the Italian. I know the lights say Pizza Hut, but it isn't a Pizza Hut. You can see it from the outside, it's not a Pizza Hut. So a proper New York Italian restaurant. Carbonara, lasagna. They even do old school Sunday carvery. Not what I'm used to. Bolognese looks good. Spicy rigatoni, al vodka. Let's go for some pasta. I thought I've got to try spaghetti and meatballs. Look at the size of these meatballs. Piping hot. So dinner came to $50. It's about a 20-minute walk from here to Times Square. Let's see if that's accurate. Let's go. There's Grand Central Station. It's surprisingly mild for October. To be honest, there's a bike stop right outside my hotel, so I could quite easily get on one of these. I mean, it would probably take me about 5 to 10 minutes to get there on one of these bikes. But I thought, as it's a nice evening, any fans of the original Ghostbusters will recognize that building. Well, it was actually quicker than that. It took me about just under 15 minutes to get here. By the way, if you want to see what Times Square looks like at 5 in the morning when no one is around on an early Sunday morning, make sure you check out my tour of New York. I have put the link in the description. Right, back at the hotel. I'm off to bed. I'll let you know how I sleep in the morning. Night night. Morning. Apparently you can get free coffee downstairs, so that's exactly what we're off to do. So yeah, they don't have tea or coffee facilities in the room, but they make up for the fact that you can get a free cup of coffee downstairs. I did actually have a really good night's sleep in the bed. The only issue is the air conditioning was not working, and although it is towards the end of October in New York, it has been quite warm and really mild at night, and once you've had a shower the room is incredibly warm. Obviously you can't open the window, so that was the only issue that I had. A lot of the time when you search for cheap hotels in New York, it comes up with hostels, and hostels are okay, but a lot of them you have to share a bathroom. Obviously this being a hotel, it does come with the ensuite. Last night's stay cost me $138. Taxes are added on, and there was also about $100 that they wanted security as well. Location wise, close to Midtown Manhattan, this was actually really good. I had a walk last night, 15 minutes, I was in the middle of Times Square. Okay, just before we get to the expensive hotel, I just want to say a massive thanks to today's video sponsor, Holy. It's fair to say I've been drinking a little bit too much coffee on my trip here in New York, so I've switched things up. This is Holy. It's my new go-to drink instead of those sugary canned drinks or yet another coffee. They've got this starter set deluxe where you can try all of the flavors: energy, hydration, iced tea, before picking your favorite tub. I've been loving the strawberry and tangerine energy drink. This gives you that 4-hour smooth caffeine kick, thanks to something called Nucaf. There's no crush, no weird aftertaste. What I like about it, there's no sugar, no taurine, and it's actually cheaper than grabbing cans every day. Plus, no plastic bottles to lug around. If you fancy giving it a go, use my code TIM5 to get £5 off your first order, or TIM for 10% off any time. The link is in the description. Honestly, it's kept me buzzing in New York in a good way. Okay, let's head to the expensive hotel. It's one of the most famous hotels in New York. The hotel behind me, the Waldorf Astoria, is where I'm going to be staying tonight. It was actually closed for 7 years for a major renovation. It's been lovingly restored. It's now regarded as one of the most expensive hotels to stay in New York. So I've booked myself in for one night. Let's go and see what it's like. So checking is either side, and let me show you to my room. Look at these chandeliers. I wanted to come down here to the lifts because they are pretty special down here. Look at the lifts. Okay, so I'm level 7.
7th floor.
Oh, this is nice. Somewhere to sit while you're waiting for a lift. Everything smells just so new. The doors to the rooms do look so grand. And as always, my room's right at the end. In its own separate area with closed doors. Look at the door handle. Now, it's not very often that I take off my shoes when entering a hotel room, but because this smells so new and the carpet looks so clean, I feel like I owe it to the suite to take off my shoes. Anyway, let me give you the tour. The best thing about this suite, it has one of the best views in the hotel of Park Avenue and a magnificent view of St. Bartholomew's Church. And I like what they've done. They've added these mirrors here to give that extra brightness near the window and to give it a little bit more size to make it feel bigger than it actually is. Can we first appreciate this beautiful marble fireplace that is just something else? I mean, this is really nice. And what's really interesting about this fireplace, obviously no longer a fireplace, what's in the middle of the fireplace? Somewhere to charge your phone. Huge TV, and again, more mirrors. I love these lights. Follows the theme of the rest of the hotel. You'll see in a bit. I mean, bearing in mind these chairs are only a few months old. Not many people have actually sat on them. Again, not a big fan of cushions done like that, but all these very expensive hotels, they love to lay out their cushions like that. We've got a little coffee table there, slightly bigger coffee table there. What's great about this living room, sofa's really comfy by the way, is that you can see down Park Avenue, and you don't need to do that because it is literally eye level. So from here I can do some sightseeing, do a bit of people watching, then watch a movie. There's a phone if I want to call down to reception. And then if I have guests or I want to call room service, I can eat up the table. But look at that. There is no mark on this table at all. I know people are going to moan. Can you imagine if I just did that with my fingerprints? There'd be so many comments, so many people moaning. A little mini chandelier. All this stuff though is just so crisp and new. I mean, look at those books. They haven't been touched. And then let's take a look over here because I've got a wet bar, mini bar, and also something I haven't seen in many 5-star hotels in New York. I've got a kettle and a coffee machine as well. I always talk about branding on point. There you go, look, for a cup of tea in the morning, and look at that. This kettle doesn't look like it's been used, probably only once maybe. Branding is everywhere, even on the water. There's a sink there. And of course, the mini bar, which is quite tough, obviously all censored. Now I don't actually know how long it is. Is it 5 seconds or 3 seconds that you have? Isn't it a stupid rule that you have 3 seconds to look at it and put it down? I don't trust it, so I'm not even going to go and look at it because I can only imagine what the prices are here. However, this is well, I was told this is complimentary. These aren't on sensors, but these aren't complimentary. No way are they. There's quite a lot of the nuts, dried fruits. Anyway, we've got cups, we've got not many sugars, some milk there and some pods. My shoes look a little bit out of place there. So we've got a toilet in there, and as we go this way, we go into 3 different rooms. We've got the bedroom, the bathroom, and the dressing room. Branding's on point. These are really nice. Look at that, branding even on the umbrella, and this ain't no cheap umbrella. Look, it's got that's a stitched leather handle. It's very nice. However, they've missed a trick with the slippers. There's no branding on them. There's a steamer up there. So let's firstly walk into the bedroom. First thing I thought when I came in this bedroom was, nah, it's nothing special. This area, I love this. I mean, this is really nice. Look at that with the chaise lounge there and the books. Notice the colour theme in the gold yellow. Very nice. This is a really nice little bookshelf. Again, I don't think any of these books have been touched and probably never will be, really. I mean, who's going to come here and read one of these books? The views from the bedroom, we get 2 magnificent views. Let's open them up. Obviously the view that we had from the living room area, a little bit more central actually now to Park Avenue. And then this is looking over the front of the hotel, again down Park Avenue. Even though the windows are quite small, the trick with the mirrors is obviously making them feel a lot longer. So like, I can see the flag and I was just like, oh hang on, it's over there, but I can't really see it, but thanks to the mirror, yeah, I can. Now I know Gabby'd be gutted because there's no charging here by the bed, which is quite interesting because a lot of people like to have their phones on charge by the bed. There's no plugs. Well, there is plug sockets where the lamps are, but these are all like at the back and into the wall a little bit. This little writing desk is really nice. Love the lamp. Nice little welcome letter here. And again, we've got envelopes and writing paper, but they're missing the pen. Either someone's took it and they haven't replaced it. It's a bit of a shame. This chair's nice as well. And good news, they do have a mattress encasement on here. The bed is very comfortable, but of course, I'll let you know in the morning just how comfortable it is. I mean, it's crazy. I can lay in bed and I can see literally all the way down Park Avenue and just see a line of red lights from all the cars. Onwards to the bathroom. Quick first stop where you put your luggage in your dressing room. We've got the posh hangers. No branding on these hangers though. All these are leather. The bathroom. Nice big sunken in tub. And I guess I will want that closed because if you look carefully, I can see straight into the offices. In fact, there's a board meeting going on just over there. Can you see that? More branding on the bath salts. I do love a big sunken in bath. The black marble in the bathroom, very nice indeed. That's a big one. 2 pretty big shower heads. Hello. Now that has been cleaned extremely well or has never been used. This is not something we have in the UK, right? And I'm sure someone will correct me. This is for washing your feet. And your legs? I did see this poll once about people when they shower and how many people actually wash their legs. Think about it for a second. Do you? Do you not? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to go for a good solid 6 people in this shower, possibly even a little bit more than that, but I measure it like this: 1, 2. When I measure it, they're all about the same build as me. And then no fancy toilet, just a bulk standard one. So I've just been for a walk down 5th Avenue and I've just come back and I have been given some welcome gifts that weren't here to begin with. There's a nice fruit platter there. What looks like prunes, but they taste more like freeze-dried strawberries. I've got some cheese, and look at that. Look at those beautiful little flowers on there. Hopefully edible. Some water and a nice little welcome note. And I was quite surprised actually, because normally when you stay in a hotel of this caliber, you do sometimes get, you don't all the time in America, but you do sometimes get a little bit of a welcome gift. So yeah, it's nice. Bit of a shame though, because I'm just about to go out to dinner, so, but I might polish this up later. What is that? Something for the lift shaft maybe, it's a ladder in there. These hallways are just so nice. I mean, the attention to detail that just in the hallway. That is super busy in the bar. So let's find this restaurant. I mean, just for a second, again, just look at the lifts here. They're just so beautiful. See the detailing look on the ceiling. Is this the restaurant? Please join us downstairs. Is this not open? Ah, I think it's just 2 levels. This is a very... Look at the lighting. Love that. I think most people are downstairs. Seems pretty busy. Definitely come in the wrong way then, haven't I? So not a massive menu. They do pizza, burgers, they do seafood platters, they do some seafood, but stuff like loaded lobster rolls, oysters, shrimp. They do salad. Thank you. I had pasta last night. I'm not really in the mood for any fish, and I don't fancy a steak or pork chops. I was actually recommended the burger, so I think I'll give that a try. The burger was pretty nice. I have got breakfast included in my room rate, and I'll see you in the morning for it. Morning, pretty good night's sleep in there actually. The only problem that kept me awake occasionally was when like a fire truck went past. Yeah, the soundproofing in these rooms could be a little bit better. Right, let's go check out breakfast. I've had breakfast in some pretty big rooms at some of these fancy hotels, but this is magnificent. You're sitting in a bit of New York history with a fantastic view of the clock. Don't get me wrong, these chairs are really lovely, but they're a little bit too low. The table's so much higher. I'm just like looking at the people and you just see their head and then the table. It's not the most comfortable position for breakfast, but I guess you just have to sit up. So food-wise, the Waldorf Astoria is famous for the Waldorf salad, and also it's the birthplace of Eggs Benedict. So I've got to try them. They look great. Way too much lettuce though. You're hunching your stomach over and leaning forward whilst trying to eat your breakfast. It's crazy to think that I could stay in that pod hotel for almost a month compared to what I spent one night here at the Waldorf Astoria. So my grand total with taxes came to $4,934. Now, of course, that's a lot of money to pay for any hotel room for one night. The bed was really comfortable. The suite is nice. It's not the best suite I've ever had. The view down Park Avenue is pretty good. The soundproofing in here isn't the best. I mean, I know fire trucks are pretty loud, but being woken up at 2 in the morning as they go past, you can also hear people out in the hallway quite clearly too. But I mean, this is an iconic hotel. It's been lovingly restored as well. To think this was closed for like, was it 7, 8 years? I mean, the project was only supposed to take 2 years to complete, but because of COVID and other problems, it really did delay it. Tell me what you thought in the comments. And if you want to see me stay in the iconic Plaza Hotel in New York, which didn't go according to plan, make sure you click the video here. Give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.